where are you from? I'll be like, I'm from Sinaloa, homie. Like, if there's no lion in the mountain, the monkey can become king. God needed me to take those 12 years, get sick, lose everything. And from losing everything is the only way, like the quote, like now I can become who I was meant to be, bro. One of those loans where like they'll kill you if you don't pay them. Like he gives me a bag of money with like blood on it. Bro, it was so bad. I transferred. Who transfers schools in 3rd grade, bro? I got called Chino so much, I thought it was my name in Spanish.
Do you have any stories about race wars?
Yeah, I remember I was hanging out with the rebels.
So it was Asian on Asian?
Oh, no, it was Mexican. I was on the Mexican
You were with
side.
the Mexicans? What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses, aka NoMo, chilling right here inside the Lit Out Podcast. I got a very special guest in the building. I got Mr.
George Wang in the house, dude, aka Lil Wang, aka Still Chino from the block. Let's go.
That's right. Welcome to Southgate. First time you're ever going to be in Southgate because the only time people pull up is to be on the Let Out Podcast. Have you been to Southgate before?
I'm not a visitor, bro.
We got to take a second from this episode to give a shout out to our sponsor, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food. They've been in business since 1992. And that's right, it all started in the IE. The Montclair location offers a Teriyaki Tuesday. You get a bowl of teriyaki plus a drink for only $6. You heard right, only $6. Come here a little closer. Let me let you in on a little secret about Mr. Yu. Did you know they had a secret menu? That's right, you heard it here first. They got a secret menu. Let me tell you a few things about their secret menu. They got Spam fried rice, Thai chili fries, teriyaki chicken fried rice, pad Thai, jalapeno wontons. And that's just to name a few. Again, shout out to Mr. Yu for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to the show.
I used to work out of Southgate.
What?
I used to teach a lot. Actually, it's funny, when I was pulling up, one of the kids I would teach, I would come take this kid up, pick him up, and then I would go take him for skateboarding lessons.
Right here at Southgate Park?
Yeah, I was like Uber skateboarder fucking.
Sick.
So like I would pull up to Huntington Park. I actually taught at Huntington Park for a year at the high school.
That's the high school.
Yeah, and after school, I ran the skateboarding program for the kids.
No shit.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, you know, some parts are rough. Like I had a girl, this was a sad story. Like there was a girl I was teaching, and she would come up every day. I love skateboarding, sir. You understand how much skateboarding means to me? I'm just like, yeah, man, I love your enthusiasm. And then like 4 years later when the pandemic hit, she got killed, bro.
By COVID?
Nope, her boyfriend.
Oh shit.
So she had been in so much trauma, like skating was her only outlet. That's why I think skating, especially in like rough neighborhoods, it's a good escape, bro. It's a good way to kind of have somewhere to go and a community to be. And when I ran that shit in Southgate, I didn't know how important it was to a lot of these kids, because you know, a lot of these kids had some rough shit going on, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, if they could just focus on skating, it's like, cool, I don't gotta sell drugs today, you know, or you know, I don't have to get into a fight somewhere. Like, I got my mind on this right now, so.
Yeah, I feel like especially in like under whatever resource cities like this, like the only structure for kids is school, and then after that it just falls apart.
Yeah.
Because like parents are busy or parents are neglectful, whatever it is, alcoholism, drugs and stuff like that. Just keeping them busy is so important, but expensive.
But remember, like when I was growing up, I hated after school, because that's when like homies would want to jump you and shit. Like because I was new to the block. I came from Colorado.
Oh, okay.
So it was all white people. And then we moved here, it was straight up in like the heart of San Gabriel. So I went to a school with all Mexicans.
Which
But
one?
I went to Roosevelt. Bro, it was so bad. I transferred. Who transfers schools in 3rd grade, bro? I was getting picked on so hard because those two Asians. Those Michael Bond and George Wang. Michael Bond was a fucking genius, bro. Michael Bond was the only reason everyone graduated. This is how smart that dude was. I remember one day the teacher got mad because she gave a test out, and everyone missed the same answer as Michael Bond. I mean, every single person copied his ass.
Oh shit.
And I wasn't smart. So they copied me, bro. You'd fail. Like, bitch, what are you good for? I thought you were smart. You're Asian, fool. And so, you know, like I got picked on a lot. Yeah, I say this in my comedy where I was like, you know, I got called Chino so much, I thought it was my name in Spanish, bro.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses. We're taking a second from this episode to bring you a word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by us, The Lit Outlet. The best way to support the channel is to like, comment, subscribe on every episode. Don't forget the reels on Instagram. Don't forget the shorts on YouTube. Make sure you guys like and comment on everything you see from The Lit Outlet. Also, another big major way you can support the channel is to join our Patreon. The link is down below in the description. You keep the channel alive by pledging $1 every month. You can also do $3, $5, $10, $20. But all I'm asking, if you're a Liddy and you're enjoying the content, to at least join our Patreon for $1 a month. Another way you can support the channel is to buy some merch. We got hoodies for $40 and we got t-shirts with this logo for $25. If you want to support the channel, those are the best ways. But also, if you want to just keep enjoying the content for free, you can do that too. I don't mind. So I want to say thank you to all of our Liddies who are watching, liking, subscribing to all of our content here. Now let's get back to the show.
Shit.
Yeah, so, you know, I grew up with all the Chino japonés, come caca, like that whole thing. And then, like, I remember just kind of every day I'd get out of school, I was kind of scared because I got bullied. And I remember the dude too. Like, this fool would just dog me the entire, like, it was out of like one of those those school movies.
Where everyone's walking
Dude,
by. But
every time I look over, like, it didn't even fucking matter. I look out my window. He just fucking intimidated the fuck out of me. And then, like, when I would come out of class, he'd come and try to, like, trip me. Like, sorry, dog. I'm like, bro.
He was a passive aggressive bully?
He was a dick, dude.
Dang.
I remember just like, what did I do?
Like, just fuck me up already, fool.
Yeah.
Like, get it over with.
Yeah, come on, Chino. You know karate, Chino? I'm like, nah, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, that's why, like, I had to skate away from all these fools, dude.
Literally, huh?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, the SGV is actually, I feel like before, unless you're from there, is underrated how active it is.
It was really active.
Now with Instagram, you kind of get more of an idea how active it is.
It's chill. But I mean, active in the streets in the 90s. That was Asian gangs, Mexican. Remember when those gang wars, dude?
Race wars.
Mad race wars.
There's only Mexicans over here, so I never really dealt with the race war, but I have definitely heard lots of stories. Do you have any stories about race wars?
Yeah, I remember I was hanging out with the rebels.
What is that?
Well, these dudes, they were trying to be like greasers.
Okay.
So they thought they were all like in a fucking James Dean movie. Like, calm down, bro. They had like the old school convertible. And my boy had the, you know, that like 50s button up and the slick back. Like, it was just kind of like the cool guy,
Oh,
you
what
know?
they call it, rockabilly?
Yeah, yeah. I hung out with a bunch of those dudes. And when the first time I discovered a race war was like, and like, hey, fool, you want to ride home with us? You want to ride? I was like, hell yeah. Like, I jumped in the little convertible. And then we're driving, and he goes down this little alley, and this dude hands me a pipe. And he's like, if we get down with these fools, you're gonna roll with us, right?
Said
Like,
these fools are these Mexicans. What do you say?
no, we pulled a bunch of Vietnamese dudes in the alley, like straight out of a fucking movie.
So it was Asian on Asian?
Oh no, it was Mexican. I was on the Mexican
You were with
side.
the Mexicans?
Yeah, I was like, hey, because I'm not Vietnamese, so I was like, fuck these dudes, let's get them, dude. You know what I mean? Well, it was like weird because Asians are racist towards other Asians.
So are Latinos.
But for me, I wasn't trying to get down at all.
Yeah.
He's just like, yo, if it goes down. I mean, I don't think anything really happened, but I think they were just driving through their territory and just kind of like me mugging. Hey, man, fuck you, man. These little Vietnamese dudes are all, you know that Asian squat? And they have the little hair, the shaved with the bang in the back. Hey, man, fuck you, man. The V-boy tattooing me. And it was just like, yeah, it was fucking hilarious, dude, because there was always shit going on.
Damn.
Yeah, San Gabriel's active, bro, especially with the Asians, bro.
Yeah, I think it's like the only two areas I know where there's actually like crazy Asian gangs. There's like Long Beach and then San Gabriel Valley. Well, Alhambra, I've heard of Alhambra, where like the East LA gangs and the Alhambra gangs like kind of chase each other back and
It was
forth.
heavy, yeah. Because we had a lot of spots for like 24-hour Asian cafes.
Interesting.
And that's where like you couldn't go to a certain cafe because like the V-boys were here, the Watching guys were here. And if they caught you, they fuck you, get you. First they break your pager. Fuck you, man.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was crazy, dude, because I remember one time going to a pool hall, and my friend brought this dude. And like, we didn't even know dude. It was just like some random dude rolling with us. So we pull up, and we're shooting pool. Bro, it was out of a fucking 80s action movie, dude. The double door swing open. There's like 6 people. Hey, where Larry at, man? I'm like, Larry, what the fuck? And my dude that we came with, bro, hey, yay, man, they'll fucking run. Boom, whacks that dude in the back, breaks the sticker, get him, man. And then we're trying to like, come, hey, man, you better not move, man. Like the dude, like, come on, I fucking shoot you, man. And then they grab him by the arm. And it was like, dude, it was like, what the fuck? If I did a Bruce Lee, like fucking, ooh, ah, ah. And then just to fucking make it worse, one of the guys, he goes and he grabs pool balls, like a pitcher, bro. Like just fucking throwing them at his head, dude. And I remember like after that, they dropped him, he was all bloody, dude. And that's the dude we rolled with.
Well, what did he do?
I don't know.
To this day, you don't know.
I don't know what the fuck Larry did.
Fucking
But I was telling my boy, hey, maybe you should have invited this guy. I guess what it came down to, he was Joaquin. And B-boys and Joaquin don't get along.
Watching is like Chinese people?
Joaquin is kind of like the rich Asian gang. They were kind of the ones that were like, came from good families. So they were looked down upon because like the real ghetto fools would be like, these fools aren't down. That's why they would test them. Because you're rolling around, you're acting all, you're a gang. All right, when we pull up, let's see what's up. And a lot of times, a lot of those dudes weren't about shit. Like they wanted to claim shit and be a part of this thing. But like the Vietnamese dudes, those are rugged. Those would be like the MS-13 of gangs, bro, because they come from like Vietnam, dude. The dad was in the war. Like he fucking used to blow up Americans, dude. Like they don't care. They were the most violent dudes. Like, I would never fuck with a Vietnamese gangster, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it, because I've also been to like a 99 Ranch Market in Alhambra. I've been to like these like Southwest Chinese restaurants where they serve like weird shit, like pig blood and shit like that.
Yeah.
How much did you, because your family's from where?
So, I'm originally from Colorado.
Okay.
My dad migrated here from... Okay, so it gets complicated. He was actually born in Korea, but he's Chinese. So it's kind of like you're Hispanic American or whatever, but you're born here.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of on the border of China and Korea. And so my dad basically was an immigrant. He came here when he was hella young, no money. He got his job as a chef, and he just worked his way to the top. He learned the menu, and then he figured there's too many like Chinese restaurants in LA right now. Like if I open something here, it's not gonna stand out. It's like opening a taco stand on fucking 26th Avenue, right? It's like, bro, there's so many. So he's like, did the math. He's like, yo, if I go to Colorado, like some white ass city, Colorado Springs, this is early 80s. There's no Asian food. So this dude went down there, set up a little orange chicken booth, like a kiosk, and just gave white people orange chicken. I give them so much orange chicken. Hey, he was like, he would tell me like, he would give fools some. It was like one of those places where you can't close the box on the lid.
Oh, hell yeah.
He just fucked fools up, and from that he grew his business so huge that like, at the age of 25, this dude already had 8 restaurants. He had a fast food franchise. He was kind of like the Panda Express right before. He was too early. He had that whole shit, like the Panda Express. Like, if he would have stayed with it, I even have a tattoo of his old restaurant right here.
Sick.
If he would have stayed with it, bro, I felt like he could have been the Panda, like that we know now. He had the idea before all that. Panda wasn't around yet.
Panda's not even that good.
Yeah, he was doing Szechuan Chinese cuisine, authentic, like white people Chinese food.
Yeah.
Broccoli beef, orange fucking chicken, all that shit, mushroom, kung pao. And that blew up in Colorado. And so the reason why we moved to the SGV was, you know, my dad was one of those, he was like a big spender. He was one of those, like, you know, he didn't care about like money. He just would throw money around, like, and he just trusted way too many people. And that's what fucked him up. He had a bunch of shady people running his businesses. And eventually, I think his tax guy fucked him. He had been doing something with the taxes. And then the IRS had to shut his shit down.
Damn.
And he told me when he handed over his empire, and he just said, fuck it. Like gangster shit, like, go ahead, take that shit. Get in the car at night. I remember living in a big-ass mansion. We're going to L.A., driving fucking all the way to L.A., we went from riches to rags.
Damn.
And I'm going to tell you, when we went from that, you know, all of a sudden, like, I felt like me and my sister we used to have our own rooms to a bunk bed. Like, little ass space, little apartment. And I'm going to tell you, the difference between having all that and having, like, going from rich to kind of, like, struggling, I never see my family. It really felt like less is more. Because that was the first time my dad enjoyed life. He wasn't stressed out about running so much shit. My mom just got a job as a waitress. And like, it was the first time the family kind of came together. Because for the longest time, I was raised by nannies. Like, my parents were always busy. My sister was, they were trying to put a lot of money into like making her like a U.S. like a figure skater in the Olympics. So they spent a lot of time like focusing on her doing that. And then when we were kind of forced to live in this little apartment in San Gabriel, I felt like that was kind of when our family actually really connected and started to grow like as a family. And I felt like that's when my life kind of begun. Because like, you know, Colorado was really racist. Like, even though it was a little racist too with the Hispanics, like it just was, there was just no culture in Colorado. Could you imagine just all white kids, bro? Just everyone's white. You feel weird eating noodles because the guy next door is eating like fucking meatloaf. Like, you're outed. You don't speak the language because no one speaks it. You look different. And so even coming here, even though like I was different in the little Latino community, like it was cool seeing culture for the first time. Knowing like going to San Gabriel and seeing all these Asians, bro. You're like, it's like the alien from Toy Story when he links up with all the other Martians. Like, bro, I thought, what the fuck, dude? I was the only one. I was the only one, but I was very different from the other Asians because like the shit I was into, they thought was so. They used to call me whitewash. Hey, you don't know your car, man. You whitewash, man. You don't even know how you chopstick, man. Like it's just because everything I did wasn't. I didn't drink boba. I didn't fucking lower my car. I didn't have that stupid bang haircut. I don't wear my hat like this. Like, I skated. I listened to punk rock. I dyed my hair green. Like, I did all that alternative shit. And they were like, the Asians were like, we ain't trying to hang out with you, bro. You know? So, like, that's why I felt like I had to be down with the Latinos, bro, because they were like, they accepted me, you know? They're like, even though, like, you know, we had the little bullying and shit, but, like, I remember my first girlfriend was a Latina, you know? I used to make a joke. I'm like, if we have a baby girl, bro, we'll have the first Latina baby, bro. Like, my best friend, first dude I ever hung out with was Peruvian, El Salvadorian, this guy Herbert. And, you know, I just kind of grew up in that environment. And it's funny because now people are like, bro, you speak better Spanish than you do Chinese. And actually, I do, because I hung out with more Hispanic dudes. I was around their grandmas and shit, like hearing them speak. So I got to adopt a lot of that culture, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know what's up, you know? Like,
for Mexican Americans, like, I'm born here. I'm first generation, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're more American than Chinese or Korean? Or do you feel like because your dad's from back home, like you feel super...
I think I'm more Chino than anything, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. I even tell fools like, hey, if they go like, hey, where are you from? I'll be like, I'm from Chinaloa, homie. Like, I'm so Chino, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, definitely. You know what though? It's a good question. You said that. I would say definitely like American, but you know, when you grow up skating, like we didn't have a lot of. You never saw the race. You just saw like who was good and who sucked. So, you know, when I was around that, it was always about like who the good skater was and who the bad skater was. So it wasn't until like I would hang out with my skater friends. It'd be like, don't let the Asian guy drive. You know, all the Asian jokes came out and shit. But like around the skater friends, it was like no one even cared. It was just like skating.
Tell me about how you got the job at HP, and when did you kind of become an instructor versus just a skater?
Okay, so this was crazy. I was working with a tattoo company for over 12 years, and it was a startup. A couple of my friends started this company, and it was like the first ever tattoo furniture company. Because what happened was they started like a beauty parlor thing, and they noticed like tattoo artists kept buying all their massage tables. And they're like, wait a minute, there's no table made for tattoo artists. So they actually started this company, and it was a startup. And they're Asian guys that had no tattoos. So they're like, hey, George, you have tattoos? Like, you go talk to these guys. So they kind of made me the representative because they felt like my personality was more of that style. So what I did for 10 years is I flew around it. I didn't, like basically, like, you know, you go in an office, you got to like clock in. Like, I didn't clock in until I was on a plane. So I was going to tattoo conventions for 10 years, dude, 12 years, just every single state, out of country, basically just trying to get our tattoo shit in every tattoo shop. And here's the thing about working for someone else is that, you know, the whole idea is they wanted to grow this company so that it could get big enough that they could sell it. Once they sell the company, right, that's how people get rich. They get to get their little stake in it, and then they get to go retire. And I remember I was being promised all these things like, dude, once we sell the company, you're going to be set for life and all this. So for 12 years, dude, I basically was like the face of this company. Is like just, you know, anyone who thought of this tattoo company thought about me. They thought I was the owner.
What was the name of it?
It was Tat Soul.
Tat Soul.
Tat Soul. So shout out any tattoo artist. They'll probably know what Tat Soul is. But when they actually sold the company, like all that stuff about, you know, you're going to be rich and you're going to... None of that happened.
They became rich?
They became rich. The new company just got rid of everybody, including me. It was like, thank you for your service. You know, thanks for growing it, but you know, it's mine now. So like, peace out. And that hit me pretty hard because like that was like my only source of income.
Were you making pretty good money?
No, I was getting by. I wasn't balling. I've always just kind of gotten by. Like I've always been responsible enough to like pay my rent. But I was always the guy that like had to order chicken tenders at every dinner, like whatever the cheapest thing on the menu was. Like I didn't have money like that. It was just basically. So after they sold the company, it really put me in a situation where like for anyone who's been with anything for that long, you're like, bro, like it's what do I do next? Like I thought now I have no money coming in, and then it was like as if anything couldn't get any worse. The day after I get fired, let go from that job, I get pulled over that same day driving home. And it turns out I had like all these warrants just from like, you know, I'm sure people listening have been there before. Like you failure to appear basically. And I end up just going like straight from getting fired to jail. And this is how bad it gets. So it was like during like Memorial Day weekend. So you can't see the judge till like Tuesday.
Fuck,
so it was a Thursday, bro. So it was like, bro, I had my contacts on. I couldn't take them off. Like it was almost like I got frozen for 5 days, dude. I don't know what happened. So while I'm in jail, like, you know, I asked my friend to take care of my car. Like I had inherited a new car. It was a Mini Cooper from my sister. And I tell this fool, hey, watch the car, dude. You know, like it doesn't have insurance and all this shit yet. And, you know, after I get out of jail, after that 5 days I spent in jail, I try to call this fool, hey, man, come pick up my car. Dude, you know when something's up when people, like, it just keeps going to voicemail. So I'm like, is this dude's phone on? And then he's just trying to, like, kind of dodge me. So I catch him slipping at work. I catch him on the line. Hey, man, I'm trying to buy something. Oh, I got you, bitch. Oh, what's up, man? And then I'm like, hey, man, you have my car? And then he's like, oh, dude, you know, let me call you back. And then you know, he's like whispering. He's like, all right, bro, so this is what happened. You know, you got locked up and, you know, the homie's in jail. I thought, you know, I'm going to take the little car for a little ride in the canyons, put a little gas, set my boy up nice right. He's like, well, that didn't happen. And I go, what happened? Apparently he like was driving through the canyons. He didn't see some like ditch. He literally Ferris Bueller'd that shit, bro.
What?
He like flew over the ditch and totaled the car. Totaled the car. No insurance, no nothing. It's a loss. And the guy has no money. I know what this guy makes. He works at the same company.
Damn.
So I'm like, dude, I need a car. Like, so I guess this dude goes to like some shady like loan deal. Like You know, like one of those loans where like they'll kill you if you don't pay them. Like he gives me a bag of money with like blood on it and shit, like a fucking dirty paper bag. And I guess he got enough money, I don't know how, to get the car kind of like working. And it gets even crazier because now the car works, but it's a convertible. But the convertible top, the shit's broken.
Damn.
So guess what happens the next day?
It rains.
It rains. And now the car is a complete loss because the water burned out all the
Fuses and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. And then I think because I had lost the job, the car, I was so stressed out. That same I went on a date with some girl, and we were kind of seeing each other, and at the end of the night we like make out, and then dude, 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, like a couple days go by, and I break out into like the craziest sickness. I guess she had caught this like really bad viral flu. So I get this flu, and then I get the shingles, and then I get Bell's palsy on top of that.
What?
It was like 3 in 1. And now I'm out of commission for 5-6 months. With Bell's, I have a fucking paralyzed face, so I can't talk. And then all this other shit made me have vertigo. So like, I wake up and I'm dizzy, bro. I can't walk. It felt like, you know that when you're about to blackout drunk, like you just can't really do anything. So I'm just sick, with no job, no car. I'm about to get evicted. I'm 4 months behind my rent. I'm fucked. I'm like, bro, this is like the worst shit. This is the worst string of luck. And I filed for disability. They're like, nah, you haven't been sick that long. So I'm like, dude, I had nothing, bro. The only guy that was holding me down was Pops. Pops was coming, hey, bringing me food. And you know, when you're in a rough spot, bro, like sometimes you could be a little selfish because like you don't see the good shit that's happening. You just feel sorry for yourself. So I was just living in sorrow, just mad, fucking like mad at the job, mad at my friend, just unhappy. And my dad was the only source of, he was coming every day, like bringing me food. And I was just kind of being a dick to him. And this one day he picked me up and he took me to Costco. And we were out eating the little hot dogs. And I'm pissed. I'm like, I can't even, why the fuck? I'm complaining about the hot dog. I'm like, I can't eat hot dogs right now because like I can't swallow and all this shit. And I don't know what happened, bro, but like the hot dog went down the wrong hole.
No way.
And I threw up the hot dog on my dad. I'll never forget the look of like on it. My dad's a tough motherfucker. So him wiping the fucking throw up of the hot, and dude, he just went off. It's your fault, not my fault. Your fault. You see, you do this. He's like fucking telling me this is your fault. You did this to yourself. You put yourself in this hole. You fucking. And it was kind of like the verbal ass whooping I needed to kind of like get, like, he's kind of right. You could have left that, and then he's like, look, I'm going to give you a little quote. He wrote on a little seashell, and he's like, I want you to read this every day. It was a Carl Jung quote. And it went, I'm not what has happened to me. I am what I choose to become. I am not what has happened to me. I am what I choose to become. He's like, I want you every day, read this 10 times, say it out loud. I am not. Like, the more I read that quote, it just started to hit me, dude. I'm like, you're right. I'm not this guy. I may be sick and all this shit right now, but what am I doing to become the guy that's not this guy? Am I trying to be out there? I'm just sitting here fucking wallowing away in my sorrows. And that day I just started to, even though I was dizzy, or I would just do like an open mic and talk all fucked up and bomb, you know, and just like whatever. At least I tried comedy. Like I'm trying, right? I tried skating. I couldn't really skate because my coordination wasn't there. But I was like, whatever. I'm gonna go out, push down the block. That's the start. I'm just gonna do what I do to the best of what I can. And then slowly, bro, I kind of like, in a way, I healed myself. Like I started to get better. The doctor would be like, dude, whatever you're doing, keep it up. You're forming new connections in your brain. You're getting better. And then the more better and better I got, it almost felt like a Jesus situation where like you kind of had to die this old life. Like I felt like all that had happened just to bury that old me. And at that time I had like short hair, you know, how to shape up. And then like I came out of all long hair, don't give a fuck. And then all of a sudden like things just started, the direction of where I was heading just started to change.
We gotta take a second from this episode to give a shout out to our sponsor, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food. They've been in business since 1992. And that's right, it all started in the IE. The Montclair location offers a Teriyaki Tuesday. You get a bowl of teriyaki plus a drink for only $6. You heard right, only $6. Come here a little closer. Let me let you in on a little secret about Mr. Yu. Did you know they had a secret menu? That's right, you heard it here first. They got a secret menu. Let me tell you a few things about their secret menu. They got Spam fried rice, Thai chili fries, teriyaki chicken fried rice, pad Thai, jalapeno wontons. And that's just to name a few. Again, shout out to Mr. Yu for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to the show.
And all these new blessings opened up. And shout out to one of my best friends, comic Martin Rizzo. He had been working for a nonprofit teaching kids after school. And, you know, I've been skating my whole life, and skating is the one thing I've never tried to make a living off of, because that's my passion. I never thought of that as a career. I never thought even like comedy. I never thought it was comedy. You just wanted to like be the funny guy in the room, right? But look where comedy went, right? I'm actually making money doing comedy. That's when Huntington Park comes. I go to the nonprofit, I take all these tests, I pass, I get my CPR certified, all that stuff. And now I'm feeling like legit, like, dude, I work with LAUSD, I work with kids. And it was almost like, bro, it was like God needed me to take those 12 years, get sick, lose everything. And from losing everything is the only way, like the quote, like now I can become who I was meant to be, bro. And day one, when I started working with those kids, I knew, man. I'm like, this is where I've always meant to be. And you know what? The thing about school and the thing about society is they will never teach you. Like you grow up and you're meant to take all these classes and go after like a subject that they throw out at you, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer. Dude, in the 30 years that I skated, no one was like, teach skating. No, that idea never came in my head. All the times I try to be class clown and disrupt the classroom with like a funny one-liner, and no one's like, yo, that could be comedy. No, like I was out here chasing the wrong things. Like I was out here, you know, it was a fun job flying around, touring, but it wasn't me. It wasn't my passion. It was a paycheck. And so when I started to teach these kids, it started to be like, oh, now I get it. Like I'm good at this. I'm good at working with kids. And at that year that I worked with Huntington Park, we were the first ever school to win like gold. We won 4 skate tournaments. Like, bro, they had to retire us. Like, oh, George's team is here, man. You know, like, we're not gonna fuck with those guys. You know.
How do you think there's already good skaters and you just polished them, or you turned kids that didn't know how to skate really good? What do you think it was?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think definitely the polish. There was some talent, but they just had no direction. It's like.
Well, skateboard is not really a directions like sport, right?
Right. There's no coaching, and that's why like some people may be against it, but like, dude, I gave a lot of these guys some focus and direction, and a lot of these guys now are doing stuff with it. Before it was just kind of like a thing for them to like just kind of kill time with. And, you know, winning that gold, bro, you may think it doesn't mean a lot, but like you've been doing this thing, now you got a gold trophy. That does something. It's like your kid's baseball team. That trophy means a lot. That's hard.
Especially for skater kids, because usually like come home, stop skating. Your parents usually hate you for skating. And they're like, look, mom, I want something at school.
Yeah. I got a fucking gold little trophy, bro. From the school, bro. Makes it legit. Now it's in the Olympics, all this stuff. So long story short, bro, like pandemic hit, so they shut down all the schools. And,
right.
And so everyone was just kind of like, you know, what's the next move? And at the time, my girlfriend suggested that I go on TikTok. Yo, hey, you should, because I had a few kids I had worked with on the side. It was just nothing serious, bro. Like a little, like babysitting. Like I had 2 kids that I would just throw down a lesson, for fun. She's like, you should do like a little video about that. Throw it on TikTok. This is when TikTok was popping off. I'm like, nah, it's not. You know what TikTok was? I was like, we don't got to dance for it. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, you never know. It's the pandemic. People are fucking waiting to like look at shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I made a little video of like beginners basics for skateboarding tutorial with like this little kid Silas. It was like this little Asian. It was really cute. Like, oh, watch out for the crack because we all know crack kills. And like, and like the little kid, he's a cute ass little kid, bro. And dude, I threw it on the internet, bro. I was like, whatever. Bro, it was like a movie. I woke up the next morning, I'm like, what the something's wrong with these numbers, bro. I like 10K followers, 1 million on the video.
Shit.
And then the numbers kept growing. So I'm like, whoa. And then all these kids want lessons. Now I'm working with this guy and this guy. I'm just connecting the dots, right? And then next thing you know, like this shit has been going on for like 4 years. And I mean, these kids, and what's crazy about TikTok is the reach is so massive. They weren't all kids. Like, I got porn stars. I was like, what? I used to watch you on, like, you want a skate lesson? Like, it was crazy. Like, Hollywood directors. Like, the path that these lessons took me on during the pandemic, it was, like, insane.
Sick.
Because, like, I was going every day to somewhere where I had never been. Like, I'd be in those, like, Hollywood private communities teaching, like, movie stars. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Who'd you work with?
The first guy I got, he made all the Saw movies.
Okay.
That was a big one. I pulled up. I'm like, what's your dad do? She's like, oh, he makes movies or anything I've seen. Yeah, it's some scary movie called Saw. I'm like, oh, Saw's huge. What the fuck? Why are you playing it down? But, because they're the kids. They don't care.
That's bad. Like,
Dad
never
cares.
gonna be cool, Yeah.
And then just like a couple famous athletes, a lot of like producers. Like maybe you might know them, but they're responsible for like all of ABC. Like low key dudes that hand the paychecks out to the movie stars. So one of the guys, which was funny, is I was teaching his kid. And this is what's funny about like pursuing your passion and staying on your path, because your authentic self is going to lead you to other opportunities. And I had been in comedy for 12 years. Nothing really popped off. I did a few things here and there, like for friends. I'm a producer, Amazon special or whatever. And then I start teaching this guy's kid, and it turns out he's a big time producer for comedy. And he's looking for an Asian comedian for an Asian comedian series that they're going to put on Peacock. Do you know of anyone? And I'm sitting here like, I didn't want him to know that I did comedy because I didn't want him to think that I was trying to get one in on him. I was like, it's about the lesson. So I actually tried to like recommend a few friends, and they didn't like them. Oh, you have anyone else? I just kept giving this dude names. And then he started following me. And he's like, what the fuck? You do comedy? Why don't you just recommend you? I'm like, no, man, that's not what it's about. And then I think that like eventually was like, man, I like this dude. And then, they picked me. I got a comedy special out of it.
Sick.
So yeah, I backpacked 2 dreams. I get to do what I love. I teach kids. And then now I got a comedy special, bro, from teaching. So it all went back to my original passion, which has been skating. I've been skating since I was 12. I'm 42. So you're telling me those, I don't know how many years that is?
30.
Yeah, it's like, you think about doctors and lawyers and all that time they got to put in to get that bar exam. Bro, I'm done. I have like 2 bar exams, dude. But I never asked for shit from skating. Other than I loved it, and this is what I'm going to do regardless. And I think at that point, like, I think maybe whatever higher power was like, okay, I see you, man. You had to go through all that. You got sick, you lost the car, the job. All right, I'm toss you a bone. And it's like this book I read called The Alchemist, one of my favorite books. Paulo Coelho. It's about this dude who sets out for like a hidden treasure. This guy goes through hell and back. He's trying to find the treasure. Where's the treasure? Bro, and then the treasure is in his heart the whole time. It's like, God's like, yo, the treasure's it's been there the whole time. It was like the treasure was buried under his feet where he began. But he had to dig deep and go through all that to realize where the true treasure was. And I felt like that's kind of what had happened to me, and it's made me such a better person. It's like being the parent I never wanted to be. I went from like partying every night to I got a lesson tomorrow at 7, man. I got to go home, guys, like 8 p.m. I want to be in bed by 10 because like I want to be there for these kids. Like if I'm going to pull up at a kid at 7 a.m., I'm not pulling up smelling like the weed coming out of the car and, I'm hungover, whiskey breath. No, I want that kid to have the best example I could give as a person. I come in there fucking professional. I've been skating an hour before he got there. He sees coach putting it in. And so then it's made me kind of go from this smaller position of life to a bigger position because now I deal with kids. Now I have a responsibility to make sure these guys, outside of skating, at least do something to impact them to come out all right, Mm-hmm. Like the girl who sadly RIP, passed away, but I wish I stayed with her longer, teaching her. What if she was skating? I don't know.
Typically skateboarding is like anti-culture, rebel type of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Were your parents being Asian parents, right? Everyone knows about Asian parents.
No.
Were they super supportive?
Yeah, my mom took me to buy my first board.
Sick. What was your first board?
She took me to the typical like frugal Chinese mom. I wanted like the crazy graphic, I wanted like the Tony Hawk. I wanted the bones, but no. You get the one no picture, the 50. But like, you have anything on clearance? Like whatever was in the fucking bargain bin.
I had the same experience. I wanted to be a skateboarder too, and my dad took me to downtown, got me like an $8 skateboard. It was like
yeah.
It wasn't even fully red. It was like a faded red.
Yeah.
Red wheels, off whack ass bearings.
Yeah, because it was $8.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their thing is like, I want. My mom wanted to make sure, like, are you into this? I'm not wasting money. And my dad was funny. My dad is actually hilarious because, my sister they were trying to train her to become like a U.S. Olympic figure skater. And she wasn't about it. So she ended up quitting and he was mad because he tossed all this money. So he'd be like, hey, if we would have known you're the real skater, we would have given you the money, you know?
That's funny because ice skating.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he would tell me, we picked the wrong kid. But I always tell my dad, it's got to be natural. You can't, I feel like if you force something on someone, and even with the kids I teach, if I feel like it's forced, I'm going to give the parents their money back. I'm not gonna put this kid through this. I love this. If you come in here, when are we done? All right, you're done. This lesson's done. Go sign up for Pony League. We're good. Like I want kids who love skating, who practice, and like that's kind of where I it's my passion. So where my dad loves is his passion is cooking. So he took this. All he knew is how to cook. I don't know nothing. I just cook orange chicken, and now I'm a millionaire, And it's like, it's like he likes that about me because he's like, bro, you're like me in a way. You just did the shit you loved, and that you made that your career. Like that's kind of what I've been trying to teach you in a way, Because when I was young, my dad was different, bro. He was giving me like crazy books to read when I was young. Like, instead of Clifford, it'd be like Think and Grow Rich. Like, I mean, granted, I don't remember any of those crazy books, but I know they did something, dude, because he made me read them, record tapes. Like, he was always just trying to feed me books that were all about like, kind of like what I did now, pursue your shit. Think and grow rich, become successful, like stuff like that. And in a weird way, I think like all that helped to manifest itself like in a different way. But I already had that type of thinking where like I wanted to do something for me, Like I want to make my own fucking path in this world.
When you moved to California, did they ever try to make you try like regular generic sports like baseball?
Oh,
football,
bro,
soccer?
so bad. Dude, so my mom signed me up for minor league. Little league.
Little league.
I was on the Giants, bro. Worst team in the league, bro. It was like bad news bears, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so bad. I didn't like it because I wasn't good, bro. I didn't want the pressure of being on the field. So I was benched. I was on the bench a lot. And, you know, mom came to every game. 2 games, 3, 4 games, she started to notice, why my son no play? I'm bench all the time. And I guess, like, I told her, I was like, oh, no, Mom, I don't know. He doesn't, you know. Oh, no. So that same night, dude, she drove to the coach's house. Dude, ding dong, full tire. Hey, why you no play my son? I pay $300. Fucking throws the glove at him. I mean, dude, he's like, what the fuck, right? The next day, he made me a starter.
It worked.
But I suck. Now people are yelling at me, hey, hit the fucking ball, Wang. What the fuck? I lose the game for the team. Fucking pop fly and outfield, drop it. Like, Mom, I've been trying to dodge this dude. I was cool on the bench.
Yeah.
Now you got me in the spotlight? Fuck that, you know? And that's kind of when I knew, like, you know, the team shit wasn't for me. Like, that's when, like, I think the only time I came alive was I had a neighbor, and I seen this dude cruising down the street on an old school, like, paddle board, and he ollied a cup. Oh, no, he ollied up the curb. I don't know what it was about that moment, but I went up to homie. I was like, dude, I will like, what would it take for you to like teach me that? And so this fool's like, all right, like I want some video game money. So every week, dude, I buy this dude a new Sega game. Like I take all my money, like my allowance, and then like I'll go buy him Sonic. All right, cool. You can learn how to drop off a curb today. And I remember, like, I just give this guy all my money, like, whatever it was, and he would just teach me. And, you know, it's funny because, like, it was the one thing that like you said, it was just natural. Like, I liked it because it was, like, no pressure from anyone except, like, yourself. Like, it was kind of like you kind of had to figure it out. Even though homie was teaching me, he wasn't, like, the coach.
Yeah.
Like, he just wanted my money. But he wasn't mad that I wasn't landing shit, you know? And it's funny because I stuck with it. He quit. But he'll pop up on my Facebook, hey, fool, never forget.
It was me.
Trying to hate on me. Hey, fool, I see you trade living, never forget, dog. Oh, all right, I see you, Brandon. Shout out Brandon Diaz.
Fucking, I did notice that you have a post on your Instagram that you backpacked through Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Tell me why, why did you go? What did you learn? And would you do it again?
Okay, so this was another earlier time in my life where it's always I was losing jobs. Like I was working as an account executive for Yahoo.
What does that mean?
Yahoo, you know Yahoo.
I know Yahoo. What's an account executive? Technically.
It's an asshole it's a nice way of calling a dude a salesman.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, bro, you're a salesman. You're like,
What are you selling? Ads?
Yeah, we're selling ad space.
Okay.
I tried it, dude. I don't know how I got in. I was able to like get in because the requirements you needed like at least
Like a bachelor's?
yeah, a BA. I had no BA. I just went in there and just bullshitted my way in.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a BS. So yeah, it lasted 6 months.
Okay.
And then they had to let me go. I guess I fucked some account up. Like I was supposed to turn the ad spending on, and I left it on for the weekend, and the dude was billed like $250,000. It was like something crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this isn't for me. And then at the time, I was dating this girl. She had moved away, so I was all bummed. And now I have no job. Kind of just the summer was hitting. It was like, and my sister was a big time traveler, and she was one of those like, you know, she just lives to travel. Like she'll write me a postcard from Finland. I went to go visit the North Pole, but she's alone. You know, she's like one of those like adventurous types. And then she told me like, hey, I know you got a lot of shit going on right now, but you want to do a little adventure with me? I'm like, what? She's like, I'm gonna backpack from Costa Rica to Panama.
Is that far?
It's pretty far.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, I mean, what else do you have to do? You have money, you might as well use it on experience. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's do it, I'm game. But, you know, when I went out I was like stupid LA guy. Like I came with like gel and like you can't have all that, dude.
Gel.
Like white shoes, and I learned the hard way. Like, and when we went out there and we did the backpack, just being out there, man, and all the little adventures that we had, you know, I just realized like. You know the whole, like in Costa Rica, the pura vida saying, pure life. So they have a saying out there, pure life. And every day was an adventure. Like we were riding in back of chicken coops. We were taking like boats to get across the river. It was like that show on CBS, The Amazing Race. It was like every day we'd wake up in a hammock. It was an adventure, bro. It was like Indiana Jones. It was like, damn, every day a new life. And that's why they call it pure life, because it's like you're living life, bro. I'm not at a desk. Like if I was back home, I would be at a desk looking at the same image that I'm doing on the desktop. You know that desktop with those same stupid huts on the water? I'm in that hut, bro. I'm in the desktop.
Screensaver.
Yeah, I'm living the screensaver. Every day is the screensaver, bro.
Sick.
So in that process of traveling and going, it did change my life. Cause I'm like, life is meant to be lived. You gotta live life. You can't just let life happen. Cause I was out there, you know, experiencing all these things I never experienced. And then I remember, dude, like, right when I got home, I tattooed Pura Vida right here on my forearm just to remember that experience. And I'm like, from this day forward, I'm gonna try to treat my life kind of like Costa Rica life. Like just, even though it's like the same shit, like I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go after it, you know? And that's when I just really started going hard into comedy. That's what started the comedy shit. Not so much the skating thing came later, but that's when like comedy came around. And you know, I it was really weird. Like I took a comedy class in college. They offered extra credit, and you could take comedy as an extra credit class. And so at the time when I was going to college, I was like on the 10-year plan. Like I had no idea what I was doing there. I just was taking shit that I thought I needed to take. And then once I took this little comedy class, I dropped out of school, dude. Like it changed my life. Because I never really wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I just kind of went in there as like a guy with some funny stories. And then eventually, like on the day of your graduation, you had to like go and do an actual set at the Ice House. And that same night I graduated from the class, it was for friends and family. The owner of the club saw my set, and he booked me for a real set in the main room. The first day I graduated stand-up comedy class from Pasadena City College, I'm in the main room doing a real paid. And I was just kind of like, dude, I have no idea what's going on. And then next thing you know, they put the clip out online. And this was like early, like 2009. The clip got mad views. And so now I'm being linked into this clip, and they're kids from school, like my friends from high school. Hey, when's the tour? Like, what tour, bro? I'm fucking at home, like on unemployment right now. And then eventually, I just followed that calling. I don't know how I ended up in the game, but you know, I'm doing comedy professionally, you know?
Do you ever have like imposter syndrome, or like were you studying comedy as a kid? Did you love watching comedy movies? Like,
yes. I used to steal my dad's 8-tracks. Like I'd listen to Delirious and George Lopez, the early shit right here, not right here, later, whatever that, on lock. I mean, I don't know why, because I grew up around that, so that one would hit me the hardest. All the George Lopez shit about his grandma. Yeah, the grandma and the Freddie Soto. Oh my God. I loved comedy. I loved funny people. Like, you know, your idols for some people, it's like Kobe. Like, mine were like funny dudes from school. You know, like I idolized the guys that could be funny and bring joy, or like just broke the ice wherever they went. Like the guy I looked up to the most when I was a kid, he was just the class clown. And I think a lot of that kind of just influenced me in a lot of ways. He was a class clown who skated.
sick.
And that's kind of the dude who I'm like, I was Robin at the time, Batman and Robin, like kind of sidekick. And then that I just kind of, you know, I went for comedy. I thought he was going to be the comedian. He has like a family and he works for Honda now.
Sick.
And he sees me like, what the like you're doing, like he's tripping out on me doing comedy. So
Yeah.
it's funny how life works.
Yeah, I think
You know?
one of those things like you could be like naturally gifted in some things, but a person can still outwork you. Type
Yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure, like I may not be the most talented dude in the room, but I'll I can outwork that guy. I can outwork the most talented guy.
You have an idea for, I guess, a movie or a show. Magic Rice is a hilarious idea for a show or a movie for sure. But I think a greater, something I would like to see, I don't want to say it's greater. Something I would like to see is a sitcom with you and your dad. Like, you going through your life story and then your dad like closing every episode with like a lesson learned or like,
like
he's the wise guy. You know what I mean?
I think that would be great.
That would be so sick, dude. Because your dad has also like learned lots of knowledge, like you were saying, from books and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
he's very wise.
And he's also lived like a long life.
So my dad, I say this in my comedy, is like growing up, instead of beating me, he used to hit me with proverbs. You know, like I remember one time I broke up with my girlfriend, and this fool goes, "If there's no lion in the mountain, the monkey can become king." And I'm like, what does that mean?
Whoa. That was
Yeah,
deep.
if there's no monkey in the mountain, it was like, am I a monkey? Like, you know,
What
or
does
like,
it mean? What does it mean?
I don't even know. But he'll say shit like, I remember one time I got a DUI. He looks at me and goes, one small match can burn the whole mountain. And I'm like, like one beer can lead to fucking a DUI. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, he's got these little things on lock. Like, he'll hit you.
Because you talk a lot about your dad. You know, obviously your dad means a lot to you, and he's part of your social media.
Yeah.
Or videos too. But like, I wanna hear them all, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I love hearing. Because you know what it is for me too. Like, podcasting for me has come into my life because I hate to read books. I hate reading books. I can't read. Audiobooks don't work for me. Like, I'm a listen to a podcast kind of guy. To like
I think it's because you maybe want to be connected to more, right? Like,
and then I also like becoming a podcaster, listening to stories like you is like, that's a much better, that's the way I want to learn. I don't want to learn through reading.
right.
You feel me?
Yeah, reading's not for everyone, dude.
Yeah, it's not for me, for sure. Joe, what'd you go to jail for?
The suspended license.
Okay.
And then failure to appear and
Did you make it all the way to the county jail? It was just from the city?
Twin Towers.
Okay, tell me about your jail experience. Did you have to choose a side?
So this was funny. Yeah, actually, the Asians are with the blacks. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in the black hall. I'm like, oh shit, it's Rush Hour 6, motherfuckers. What's up? Oh, you funny, motherfucking funny. And then I remember when I went into jail, you had to write you had to fill out the form. Like, what do you do? At the time, I just went stand-up comedian. And so we're in the holding cell, and then one of the cops comes over. He's like, George Wang? I'm like, am I free? He's like, no, not yet. But come with me. And then I follow the dude into this little back room. And I remember the other cop, he's on one of those swivel chairs, and he's on his laptop. And he swivels around. And he's like, hey, bro. He pulls up my dad's clip, Father Philosopher. Is this you? I'm like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, oh, shit, we've never had a comedian in jail before and shit. He's like, you want to do some time? I'm like, bitch, I am doing time, bro. He's like, ha, 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 ha. He's like, hey, come on, bro. And these guys were like, hey, come on, man, give us some joke. Give us something. And for comedians, bro, that's the worst thing you could do.
Like, why? Because it puts you on the spot?
Yeah, tell me a joke. Like, I'm not a fucking dog, dude. So I was like, all right. So I just did a little bit about my dad. I did one of those Father Philosopher bits. And they're, fucking hilarious. All right, man, here's extra bread. Here's another burrito, bro. Like, and then it was funny because when I went back to the holding cell, oh man, the homies in the cell had heard everything.
How do they hear?
One of these cholos like, hey, so you think you're funny or what, dog? And I'm like, nah, dude, nah. Hey, you got jokes, dog? And I'm like, nah, dude. And then the whole night was this dude telling me every cholo joke. And hey, what do fucking, what do cholos eat for breakfast, dog? I'm like, I don't know, cereal. And I'm like, all right, bro, go fuck. I'm done with you right now, bro. But he had like opened up a portal, and dude, all night these guys are just throwing their shit at me. It was like, bro, I do it, bro. It's fine, but like, I'm not trying to hear all you guys do it. Like,
Hey man, I appreciate you pulling us to the podcast.
yeah, dude, anytime, brother.
Sharing your story with our listeners here. Let us know what you got going on.
So you can follow me on my Instagram, George Wang Jr., TikTok, George Wang Jr., Pornhub, Lil Wang, Big Wang. No, I'm just kidding. And I got some shows. If you guys are in Silmar on June 11th, I'm gonna be at Casa Torres with DJ Cooch. June 15th, I'm gonna be at the VFW at City Industry. So if you guys veterans or whatever want to pull up to that. June 20th, I'm gonna be at, is it the 28th? I think the 20th, the Glendora Recovery Center for like addicts. So if you're an addict and you're in Glendora, pull up, bro, for some jokes and some coffee.
Hell yeah.
And the 22nd, I got a big show with Eric Schwartz, Bruce Jingles, Carly Carr. It's gonna be at a new spot in Anaheim. But yeah, just follow me on my social, and I post that all there. Anyways, I don't have a website. Or you could just follow me, bro. Just find me and follow me wherever I go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always say, guys, pull up, turn up, stay lit. Remember, we got the Liddies Live Forever t-shirts on sale right now. We got hoodies and Lit Outlet shirts. Make sure you guys join our Patreon for only $1 a month to support the brand. And thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys later.
Yeah,
Peace.
let's go.